All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tyler, and this is another episode of the Totally Unprofessional podcast. Today we have a special guest, Brodie Knight of Sprockets. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic.
All right, well, glad to hear it. Um, so we'll just jump right into it. The first thing I want to ask is what prompted you to start playing music?
Uh, I think listening to like certain kinds of music kind of inspired me. I mean, growing up, I was into like the TV show theme songs, like Ducktales and shit like that. And so when I actually heard real music, like from artists and everything, it just like blew my mind. And the bass player in Sprockets is Dave Schwaller. It's kind of like my first friend when I moved to Boise, Idaho from Vegas, and his dad was really into music, like really like musically inclined. So I ended up kind of just gravitating towards playing music as well, and we picked up bass and guitar together at 14, and just evolved into what we are now, I guess, which is insane. Been forever. But I think that's what it was. It was his dad just playing music around us all the time, and you know, I had some crappy pizza making job at like Papa Murphy's just to buy a guitar because my parents were against it, and that made me want to do it more. I think, and that's kind of it.
So is that where you guys still operate out of now? Is Boise?
No, we moved after high school. We moved to Vegas, and we've been here for like 11 years now. So we got our old drummer moved out here with us, and then he ended up kind of going back to Boise, Idaho, and doing the simpler life, I guess. Um, and so we met Maddie, which is he's born and raised here. Just he's an incredible drummer and an awesome guy. And so he introduced us to a lot of musicians in Vegas, and which we were always three-piece before Maddie. And then now we have Jesse Magnolia, and kind of evolved. We're a Vegas band. All of us are born in Vegas except for the bassist.
That's crazy. Okay. So when what about like around about what time did you guys start coming together as Sprockets?
I don't even know. I think it was like 2006.
2006.
We've said that recently, and I'm just going to stick with it. I don't know. 2006 is fine. And it went through so many changes before. Like each album, I swear we had like four drummers before that album came out. Like the drummer we started with wasn't even a drummer we recorded with. And then we met Dustin, which was like first album drummer. And then we moved up to Boise, or we moved from Boise to Vegas, and then met Maddie, and so we did one album with him, and now we're doing two more right now. We're working on two albums. So I don't know. I feel like there's a long pause in between, so it's hard to just like really put together what Sprockets has been or where it started. But I think 2006.
Okay. Um, so you guys you stopped playing music for a while then?
Yeah, yeah. We did like the family, like, oh, we're gonna make money now. We're gonna have families, and we're gonna do, let's have some kids, and we did that. And then as the kids got older, now we're to that point where we're back into it, and the pandemic really helped us out. How did the pandemic affect you? I bet this like helped you so much, like with the podcast and.
Yeah, it's really the podcast came from because of the pandemic.
Mhm.
Because before I never would have had time to do something like this, but like literally right before the pandemic started, I started buying a bunch of like musical equipment. So I bought like a mix board, and I got this microphone. I bought a couple other mics. I got my drum set all fixed up. And I was like, all right, well, when I have time, I'll start playing music again, start writing. And then as it went on, like I'm working from home. I've been working from home for the last over a year now. Like I think I've worked from home longer than I ever went to an office. So
So,
now, when I work from home on my breaks and I'm on my lunches and when I have a little bit of downtime, like I'm right here next to all of my stuff. So I can play for 10 minutes, or I can plan stuff for podcasts, or um, try to get into Spotify. And to be honest with you, I think Promise Game might actually be the reason I started this podcast, because um, I saw what they were.
Colin.
Yes, because I saw what he was doing with playlists. He was starting to make a playlist and things like that, and I was like, you know what, that's a really cool idea. But I mean, I just didn't know enough about Spotify to do that, and I was like, well, maybe I could start a podcast and give bands a platform to come on and talk about who they are, why they write music, and give them another opportunity to just get themselves out there. Even if the viewership originally is low and we have to come back to people who've already been on to give them a bigger
Yeah,
boost, I think in the long run, I think this will be something fun for everybody. So, um,
I think it's great. Promise Game is interesting because I've never met the guys, but Colin's always just everywhere.
yeah,
You know, like he's like I don't even really know what Colin looks like. I just see his name and I see Promise Game tag to it, you know, and it's
right.
like everywhere. He's a pretty busy guy. He's doing the squash is it squash?
Yep, Squatch in the Pit.
Squash in the pit, yeah.
He does
Which
does
I've been
their
listening to. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he did a good job picking out the song, like what to play on it too. So
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was working the
I
last
found
time, but
I found some good bands from his playlist so far that I like. So he's definitely doing some cool stuff. And it's cool that he's inspiring other people to do different things, not just musically, you know?
right, cuz like honestly, their music, it's good, but it's not what I would write. But
Hmm.
that's why I'm not in Promise Game. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but like it's good stuff and I listen to it, but I saw what he does outside of the band or to help the band and promote it, and
Hmm.
like it just kind of inspired me. I was like, this dude, he he wants it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like you can tell when
Yeah.
you
I
talk
like
to
how
him and
he
he
totally
likes it.
owns, like, I'm in my 30s playing pop music, you know?
Right.
I love that because it's just kind of like, I don't think age shouldn't matter at all, but it does in some groups, you know? And so he just kind of like says it out in the front, so he's just like, all right. We like you now. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird starting conversation. You know, that's how you like. Because of him, though, I found a bunch of bands like that, and I think they're really good. So he's on something.
And so I wanted to ask you, because I when I was going back through and listening to the stuff that you guys have put out, like it's pretty diverse. I can't really peg it. If you had to like put a box on what you guys write, what would you call it? Like what genre?
Dude, I don't know. I feel like I've been in Sprockets for so long now that I feel like I just have like 10 bands in one. You
Right.
know, like, hey, this is my melodic, this is my happy punk, this is my heavier side. Like, I feel like I just have different, like, almost like different albums are my different genres. Uh, no one will be able to find this, but some people probably have it, maybe. And it's an album that we put out in 2006, and it's called Sympathetic Addictions. And that album is there's no click tracks on it. There's no. It's, well, the producer just took us in there and said, "Okay, play," and then we play. We hit it in one take, and we'd be like, "That's good, good job." And then like we're like, "Oh, should we do it again?" And they're like, "No, it's great, it's great." One song we didn't even finish. So when you play songs live, they're kind of faster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is our first time ever in the studio. This is our first time ever doing that real like a big production, spending money on it. And we didn't know what we were doing, so everything came out like supercharged. A lot of like rock star energy drinks. So when I couldn't sing it because it was too fast, I would just scream it. So that whole album is pretty much like a really shitty Thursday album. Like it just has the. We've thought about re-recording that album the right way, just because we love the songs, but they just came out so heavy and hardcore, and like, you would think that we're a heavy band. And then with Medicated, we our producer was Mike Herrera, so some of those melodic songs got popped a little more poppy, and that kind of created that pop punk feel that we had. And then when we produced with Jesse Lawson from Sleeping with Sirens, they became a little bit more aggressive. I think he put more of like that, well, screaming, singing mix in there.
Right.
And he like the guitars he wanted to use, the sounds and everything, really made it like a deeper, aggressive tone. And I think that kind of made it weird. Like I don't even know what we would consider that album. Maybe pop punk. I don't know. Like, and then this new stuff, it's just working from home. Like it's the same thing. Pandemic, just recording everything. So that's why we're doing a single a month, because I don't think the songs will sound normal altogether.
Right.
So we're just going to do a single a month for this whole year, and then put out that album, and then do it again next year, because we have that many songs from just sitting around.
I mean, at the very least, all you got to say is like, at least you've had time to get creative and do something different.
Yeah. I wish that I had something done right now, because I have like a hip hop song in the works. I have like a jazz thing. Like I'm just all over the goddamn place. We have like at least 10 comedy songs that we could easily put out that would, if we wanted to. I just feel like we don't have a genre or have a thing. So I don't know. I used to tell people that we were like Bruce Springsteen mixing with like Marvin Gaye. And like if you put that combination together, I feel like somewhere we would drop out. Like maybe like the third child, if they had children. Not the best child. It's third or fourth, maybe the fifth child. I don't know. I hear that we're a lot like Thrice, so whatever Thrice is. I love Thrice, so that's great. And I hear that I hear a lot of the Rise Against, and I hear a lot of Deftones, Isk, which is fine too, I guess. I don't know.
I could see the Deftones comparisons. Man, I don't know if maybe it's like the production style, or like just the ones that I picked out maybe were closer to something out of that, but I could see that one.
I feel like our Deftones, whatever song, do really well, because we still have that like punk chorus, pop punk chorusy catchiness, but then like that melodic verse. I don't know. I feel like genres are so lame.
Yeah.
Like saying that I love this genre and I hate this genre. I feel like you're just stopping yourself from enjoying something you didn't know you.
Right, and especially in
Go ahead.
especially in like the punk and like metal subsets of anything. Like once you get to
Mm-hmm.
there, there's so many subgenres, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, I like post hardcore, but I don't like metalcore." And it's like, what? It's the same fucking thing. Like, like who cares,
I
dude?
know.
It's all good. Like
And
one guy screams a little more than the other guy, but the if you look at the guitar parts or listen to the energy, the BPMs, everything's it's pretty similar. Um, even what you hear on the radio now is like modern rock, and then you go back 10 years and listen to what these metal acts were doing, like they were doing similar things, or what punk bands were doing. So it all just kind of comes out in the wash. It's just music.
yeah, it's just music. And if you try to, it's like religion. If you try to identify it for something different when it's kind of the same thing as this, but it's a little different, but it's kind of this and it's a little different, then you start like hating other people that like this, but no, I like this. And it's weird. They have that when no one really knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Right.
Can I explain?
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain.
absolutely. No, that's the
Because when someone's like, yeah, you're right. So 10 years ago, that music that's now aggressive, like that 10 years ago, rock punk music was like pop punk. That music is now like, oh, that's the aggressive pop punk. And it's like,
right.
well, it's because it's not. It depends on what you're talking. Like you can't. Like people are like saying that Justin Bieber is pop punk now.
Mm.
That's not. Come on. You're just throwing. You're like, oh, I like him, and I like pop punk, so he must be pop punk, I guess. It's like that's not. He's like a popular artist. That's what he is.
Right. That's just pop. It has nothing to do with punk.
Yeah, and all pop is popular. That's it.
Right.
So you could be the heaviest band in the world, and you'll get pop rock if you're that popular. Just the way it is. I don't like. I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand genres. I like too many genres across the board. So I don't know. It's a hard thing for me to answer.
That's all right. Choose not to self-identify. That's okay. That's an option now in 2021. So
Yeah,
you're
that's
good.
a new option. That's the one I'm going with.
That's the one. um. Okay, so let's talk about this then. You guys have been a band for a while. Did you get a lot of time where you got together and played shows before this all started here with the pandemic?
Yeah. I love the studio recording stuff. So this has been a blessing for me. But the band's really into the shows. Like that's why they love playing music. It's like a therapeutic release. I think it is for everybody. Even the people that go to the concerts. But we played quite a bit in the West. So like I don't know the beginning of Sprockets. We did a lot of Seattle,
Hmm.
uh, Idaho, California, and Washington, Oregon, and I think that creates a lot of opportunities. Back then, it was like we had MySpace and the beginning of Facebook, so it wasn't so heavy on
Like the internet
promoting
promotion.
it. It was just it was just like showing up to shows. And sometimes you run into cool people and you make those connections. And sometimes you have nobody there and you're just like, fuck, what did I drive out here for? And now I think you can gauge it a little bit better, and I think people are smarter about their shows. But our favorite shows are like there's a place in Vegas called Evil Pie, and it's a pizza place that like will have like the Ataris in the back and have like significantly bigger bands for a room that holds 50 people, and so it's just a madhouse in that room, and like the stage is like a foot higher than everybody else. So you feel like you're in that old beginning, like all the videos you see of all these bands like on the ground. playing. There's all these kids around, but they had venues that supported that kind of music.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the feeling. I love Land Room. It sounds horrible because it's like the sound is like right hitting the wall and hitting you back. Like everything's an echo of an echo.
Yeah, I've been there.
But it's amazing. It's so much fun. The bigger shows are so much stressful. Like you have to they sell so many tickets to make money, or people like that own the venues are pissed if it's not doing well, if it's whatever, if it's bringing a certain kind of crowd, certain kind of this. There's so many elements now, and I guarantee once the world opens up, that'll be even more stressful with COVID and checking people in. I guarantee the opening bands are just gonna get fucked. You know, like that's the time when everyone's taking their temperatures, and so it's gonna be hard. But I think everyone wants to play again, so it will happen. It just we'll play. But we'll feel it out before. Let everyone do their test runs a little bit. You know, let them get through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, I'm just a one man operation right now, so I even if everything opened back up tomorrow, it'd be another 6 months before any shows happen because I gotta get other people on board, teach them the songs, rehearse it.
Right.
So like, I'm in no rush for that, but I miss going to shows. I miss seeing, the local bands that you see once a month that they're playing over here, they're playing there, so you go to see them. Like, I mean, not that up here that there was much of that left. Most of that died when I graduated high school. But like, like I miss.
What is that scene like up there?
Dead.
Like, well, what are the bands?
So, if you want music in upstate New York, the best places to go are like Syracuse, Rochester, or Albany area, like the bigger cities. Like my friends in early retirement and 20 something, they're out in Rochester. So they're, they do okay out there. And there's a few other bands that play out there. Syracuse, there used to be a lot more, but there isn't a whole lot going on. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just because of the pandemic, but I haven't seen anything in a couple of years. And then Albany, there's like a really big metal scene out there. But I really don't see much else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like pop punk and Rochester.
Yeah, I think that's what like my assumption of the East Coast really is kind of heavier metal bands.
Yeah, there's a lot of it, and it's like, I don't know. It's cool for me because like I was in a metal band for a while, and we got to play shows across the state, and that was fun. We had like a good 4 month run, and then we broke up, and I just didn't play music for a long time. So
it's disheartening when you break up from a band.
Yeah,
it's like a relationship. You have to get over it before you can just jump into something else.
Right, and what really sucked is like that band was like my vision. So I wrote a lot of the songs. I wrote a lot of the lyrics. The drummer Nate, he helped me with like a lot of the composition, and then the other guys came in and played, and then our guitar player didn't like the style of music we were playing, and he wanted to leave, but he was kind of a dick about it beforehand, so he made our bass player quit like at the same time, and we were gonna try to rebuild it, and then I had to move. I moved like an hour away, and I didn't get out there for a while. It just kind of fell apart, Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad. I feel for everyone that like was in the band and maybe didn't have time for it and stepped away right before the pandemic. Because it's such a good time filler.
Yeah.
During all this, and just to quit and be like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that this guy was a dick. I should have been nice to him,
Right.
Just got through it.
And
I love the pandemic, man. I've absolutely loved everything that's happened with it. Like the home time I get with my kids. I mean, I don't like all the stuff that's happening in the world, but personally, in my personal life, it's been great. I get kid time. I'm recording all the time. I have time to do this kind of stuff. Like I don't. amazing. Like I like see my family. Like I feel like we all know each other now. I felt like there was a time where I was like, we don't know if we know each other anymore. Like it's kind of you say high fives before you go to work and do this and do that. So I think it's kind of what we needed. I needed a little bit of that break. So I actually love what's happening.
So to shift gears a little bit, and I'm glad that you've made the best out of the situation. But to shift gears, when it comes to songwriting, uh, is it a really collaborative operation, or do each of you bring stuff that you've half written and finish it together, or like what's that situation like?
Um, Usually it's me coming up with kind of like the structure, the bare bones structure of the song. I sit down and I go over, and I usually play it to myself shitload before I show it to anybody. And then the band will tell me if it's good or bad, or if they see potential in it, and then they do better stuff to it, and they make it sound good. That's kind of what happens. Now that I've been recording at home, I just record everything, and I kind of get the foundations of the song, and you know any weird sound effects I want to add, or I try to really put like what the song should be, and then they just kind of fiddle with it, and we record until we find it's good. So it's kind of changed a little bit, but for the most part, bare bones is me, and then they make the guitar and bass and drums amazing. So I'm pretty lucky to have them. It's good. It's good structure we have.
Nice. That's probably a good way to go about it, because you like if you're singing the words, you're gonna want to make sure that you feel it. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be singing a song that somebody else wrote because you don't know like where they were coming from when they wrote it. Like you don't. It's like a weird headspace thing.
Yeah. I try to when I write lyrics, I try to do it visually, where the person interpreted it however way that it might affect them.
Hmm.
So I try to leave it open, like kind of like it's not so straightforward lyrics as much. Some songs do, but majority of the time it isn't. And it's I want people to interpret it how they feel, so they can connect, and maybe it'll help them. Like the same way it helped me when I was writing it, or trying to get something off my chest, or whatever the situation is. But I realized as I've gotten songs gotten older, the songs that I'm like, this song was about this, and I was going through this, and this is the song, and now I listen to that, and I'm like, I have a whole new meaning for that song, and I'm like, oh my god, that I was really fucked up in it. I shouldn't I was like someone should have checked on me. Like there was it's a weird transfer. But I definitely try to write lyrics that are meaningful, at least to me. For that reason, we haven't done any covers for that reason as well. However, we have talked since we are recording so much now. We have talked about maybe doing some covers, but I don't really know how that's going to work yet. So we'll see.
Well, not to offer my armchair quarterback opinion, but I think covers are a good way to get new eyes. And I think if you can, strip back the layers of a song to just like the chords and the melody, and then add what you would normally write, like sing it just like you would to the guys if it was a song that you wrote, and then have them do their
Rebuild
thing,
it.
rebuild it in your own sound. That's probably the way to go, because they're
That is an interesting concept.
right.
Then, so I have to pick songs that I don't just admire. Like I have to pick songs that I kind of like,
Yeah.
Because if I do a song that I absolutely love, and let's say that band comes up to me, like if I wrote a Dave Grohl song, or redid a Dave Grohl song, and he came up to me and he's like, "This song sucks," or like he said it, he's like, "Oh God, I hate this song," I would be devastated.
Oh yeah.
So I gotta go for bands that I don't care. It's okay. This band's pretty okay. It's okay.
Right. Like a medium like bands that you don't skip on the radio, but not bands that you buy their CDs.
Yeah, if they said I sucked, I'd be like, no, at least that's who I am.
There you go.
See, that's the band. I don't know what tier that band is, but that's yeah,
That's what you're
that's a
looking
medium
for.
copy.
Or you could do like pop songs. That's a popular thing too, is to take a pop song and add some rock instrumentation to it.
Mm-hmm.
Make it
I
better.
saw a lot for Taylor Swift
Yeah, maybe not
on
her,
that one.
but yes, that's a good
Yeah,
example.
but I saw. Yeah, I know. I don't even know. Um, the band always like, hey, maybe we should cover this song one day, and it's always like really good songs. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that one justice. I don't know. It's just that's a lot of pressure.
Oh, I'm I'm losing you.
So they'd probably be like, no, that's cute. You know, like Adam Sandler songs at a medium pace, something like that. Like something simple. We'll
All right.
see.
I'm gonna give my internet just a minute to catch up here.
Oh, it's lagging.
Yeah, I gotta go through the struggle of running Ethernet down here. I haven't done that yet. Once I run it everything will go back a lot smoother. Yeah, seems okay. Can you hear me okay? Is everything coming through
I
okay?
can, yeah.
All right, good. Um, so
What do you got? What do you got in the background there?
where?
You playing a game?
Oh, on the
TV.
TV. That's no, I'm just too lazy to turn that TV off, so I thought it would be cool to leave on. It's like the home screen on an old Roku device. This TV's been down here longer than I've lived here. It was in the basement when I moved in. I was like, all right, whatever, cool.
That's awesome.
So I left it there because I was too lazy to try to struggle with it and try to drag it up the stairs or into another room. So I was like, it's fine.
I thought you were like doing some gaming or something.
No, I
It does
actually
like Halo or something, like the original Halo.
yes, that would be a good TV. It's got the yellow, white, red cables. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
only thing. It doesn't have an HDMI port, so like I can't plug in my PS4 to it. So I have another TV in here that I play off of. Um, it's like just off screen. It's like
Yeah.
right there.
It's a good one. You don't want people to know about that one. This is way more of a conversation starter.
Right. Um,
Yeah.
but I actually, because you can't really see it from as far away that is, I just figured, I'll leave it on. It'll be like a cool background piece.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Bring some color to it.
Yeah, because it's pretty boring in here. I've been meaning to pull everything out and redo this whole room, and I just haven't had time. Or when I finally do have a couple hours, I end up getting into something else. I over the last couple months, I redid my drum set, so I put new heads on everything. I set up cymbals. I bought new cymbal stands so that I could actually play it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that I went through all of that trouble, I don't want to tear it down and pull it out of here so I can redo this room. So it'll be a
Yeah.
while. Summer project. We'll get around to it. Um, so talk to me a
Sorry,
little
I
about.
totally threw you off with the TV.
Yeah, it's all your fault. Um, so talk to
Yeah.
me a little bit about
Cool.
the production process. Like how, because you said you guys are doing a lot of recording now. Is it like all just at home recording? Do you still visit
Yeah.
a studio to finish everything up, or?
No. No. We're just doing one song at a time.
Mm.
We have, I mean, we have the songs recorded for this year, but as for next year, we're just doing one at a time, and taking our time with each song so it has its own identity and makes it more confusing for us to be put into a genre. And mixing and mastering is all a guy, Morgan Wright. He is kind of taking on that project. He directed our Time of the Fiend video too, so he's kind of been, he's like the secret member of the band. Like we say he's in the band, but then he always just like, hey, no, I'm a secret member, no one knows about me. And so I guess he, if it wasn't for him, we probably would go to the studio. But since we have him, he just comes over, or we, like after this, I'm gonna get on Zoom with him and write some stuff and go over some mixes, and it's kind of what we're doing. I mean, it's very simple this way. Because now, just like doing something at home or whatever your daily tasks are, and then 10 minutes spend doing it on this, writing or editing or whatever the deal is, and then go back to whatever you're doing. I have ADD, so I have to have a million things going on every day.
I mean, I can relate to some extent. My problem is either I have to have 100 things going at once, or I can't be doing anything, and I just have to like space. You know what I mean? Like,
Like that sounds like most confusing. Hey, what kind of person are you? I have to have 100 things going on at once, or nothing. Oh,
right.
okay.
But it,
So
it
what are we talking? Who are we talking to today?
there it's just one of those things where I'll get motivated and I'll be like awesome, and then I'll be like writing a song, and then in between like takes I'll be like, oh, I gotta clean this place up, there's stuff everywhere, and I'll pick stuff up, and I'll be like, all right, I'll do another take, and then I'll be like, I want to check out this new song, so I'll pause it and I'll go back and listen to this, and then I'll come back and I'll do another take, and it's like
So it happens.
or like
That's the mind of a creative.
yeah.
She's always thinking.
So I bet you it saved a lot of money though, the home recording, and and then just having the mixing and mastering going on. Thank you for following to
Yeah.
Just Too White.
Just too white.
Just Too White has followed the stream.
Is that a person?
It's a username on.
Well, that's good because that'd be a whole name. That's a person's name.
But anyway, yeah. Before the at-home recording, you guys were then planning your studio trips and writing songs and bringing them in then?
Yeah, well, I mean, old school is you write all the songs, you think you have good songs for the album, you go into the studio, and then you're time crunched because you don't want to waste too much money, and then you rush through it as fast as possible and try to be as creative as possible in that time frame, and then you get out. And that sucks. I hate doing that. So this, even if we had to go to the studio, let's say like a label wanted us or some kind of deal, we'd have to re-record it in a different studio. We would already have the foundations of the song done, so we wouldn't have to do much. We'd already know, like. But in this way, we're taking our time and just like enjoying every aspect of writing a new song. Now we get to try to explain how this story affects us or music affects us, and try to display that instead of just, oh, this is the closest we're going to get, guys. Is this song that good? Are we going to spend much time on it? Move on. You know what I mean? Like, and that was kind of just like a problem in the beginning. This song isn't that good. We want to spend most of our time on this song. So I love it, and it saved money, and it's a lot longer process, and I question myself a lot. I've learned a lot of things doing it this way, and you learn when you're doing it yourself. And I know a lot of people do this now, so I mean, probably more educated people can have a better feedback or opinion on this. But um, when you do it this way, you really like learn what it takes to make a new sound in a song, to make it kind of stand out from other songs or different. You know, like I'm playing with all kinds of weird instruments that I never thought I'd want to play with.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm not embarrassed to put it in, because if I don't like it, I can just delete it. Before, like, go to the studio and be like, guys, I promise the didgeridoo is going to be fucking amazing. Just listen to it. And they're like, dude, we're not putting in a fucking didgeridoo. But it probably is amazing. And I'm just scared to bring it in because I don't want to get laughed at. And being paid, paying people to get laughed at. I don't like that.
Right. But now you're doing it yourself for free, so screw it, bring it in.
Yeah, everything.
And then if it doesn't work, it's just a couple clicks and you bring it out again. But
yeah, my wife got me a xylophone, and I'm so excited about it. We already put it into the next song that's coming up.
That's awesome.
Love it.
So, because I was just looking, like let's talk. And I don't know if you're willing to discuss this, but I'm curious. How much did it cost you guys to produce your last album, the 2018 one, from like start to finish?
How much? The recording. There's probably anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. Probably is the, because we recorded it at separate times.
Right.
So we did 5 songs first, and then we put like an EP out to see like how people, because it was a kind of weird direction.
Mm-hmm.
It was a more aggressive punk, well, pop punk, but whatever. I don't know the genre. Whatever. It was more aggressive than our last stuff, and so we didn't know if it was going to do good or not. So we put it out as an EP, and then we recorded the rest like 6 months later, 7 months later, and then we put that out.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was like $3,000 to $5,000. And then there's like travel. We went to Salt Lake for it. And lived in the studio, which was just a nightmare. Because it was like 2 bunk beds, and there was 5 of us. So there was this one that was always like snuggling with somebody, or I don't know. It was just it was a weird sleeping, but it turned out great. Those songs turned out great. But it was a very weird environment, and Salt Lake, you can't do anything after like 6 o'clock or something. So by the time we were done recording, we were just like, "What do we do?" Okay, so we just sit in the studio on our bunk beds like teenagers. Like, hey guys, did you hear this song yesterday? Oh my god! So, but yeah, I mean, that's probably the cost of that one.
Okay.
It was probably one of our cheaper because we had friends like helping us out and joining up and everything. So I don't know if that's expensive or not.
I would say that's it's pretty good for for a full length 10 songs. That's probably right in the range of what I would expect to spend if I was going to try to do that at a studio. So it's like right in that range.
Yeah, I've never asked bands how much their stuff. I remember hearing one time that like they spent like $90,000 on an album, and I was like, on what? But I kind of get it, like now I kind of get it. But then I was definitely like, this is fucking like we don't need to spend 90 grand. I think he's going there and playing music.
Right.
But I get it. The better the people involved, the better the project.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things, like, once you get to like big budget bands like that, where they, maybe they have an orchestral piece that's like 30 minutes, or sorry, 30 seconds in there, right? How much are they paying for this orchestra to come in and actually play this piece? Because they're not going to use synths like I might. They're going to pay
Right.
people to come in and do, or if there's a chorus where, it's this like religious chorus that is singing, they pay people to come in and sing in a chorus, and they pay somebody to
Hmm.
arrange that. Like, that's crazy money.
I
when
know, but you know what? If you can get to that point where you can spend that kind of money and get it to be that authentic,
hmm,
it's a beautiful thing you become proud of. Like you look back, and even if everyone hated that song, you're like, this was a fun thing to do. You got to bring all these people in, and like when it's the choir singing some crazy rock song, it's a cool feeling,
right. And
even if it doesn't sound good.
right. I mean, even if it doesn't work, at least it's cool, you know. Um,
Yeah, and that's the whole point.
I didn't want to ask it, but it's just one of those things that, like, um, if you don't ask, you don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like I feel
No, I don't.
it's tacky to ask about finances. Like, I don't want to be like, oh well, how much do you guys make a show, or like what's your booking fee? I would never ask that kind of thing. But like, I don't know, when it comes to like putting out an album, some people might be able to pull it off cheaper than that and have like a full
Yeah.
studio production. So, and some people might be spending ridiculous amounts of money, and I could be like, well, you could probably do it yourself at home a lot cheaper and
Yeah.
get a similar
I
result.
think a lot of that stuff comes down to how creative are you as a person.
Right.
And how many ways are you trying to figure out how to get something done? Like when I would go to these studios, yeah, they'd be more talented, like in engineering, and let's try this because this has worked in the past, and this will work on this. They have more experience and knowledge, and that's good to have. Like you're paying for their experience and knowledge and their equipment, so that's why it becomes expensive. But I like the recording at home because when I don't want to do something, and let's say I don't want to look it up on YouTube because that's what you can do on everything now. I like the creative process of trying to figure out how to get something to work. And you'd be surprised on how many things you get to work, and people go, "Oh, what'd you do?" And I'm like, I don't know, I just did this and that, and like you just kind of like piece together some weird shit to make it work. And that's a lot more fun for me than just paying someone to be like, "Oh no, this is the way to do that." And I feel like I start creatively opening up new doors that I don't think I didn't even know existed before I dived into that stuff. So I really like the at-home stuff for that reason, and I don't like the pressure of spending money and trying to write something that we feel is authentic, even though we can't do the big budget, you know, whatever add-ons.
So I do want to kind of this has probably been one of the more informative episodes we've had so far. Um,
I don't ever shut up, so you can just ask me anything. Here we go.
it's
Here's
cool.
10 minutes.
I do want to start moving towards the end. So if you wanted to tell us, what's, once everybody's got shots and we're open back up, like what's the long term goal for your project? Are you trying to get this to just continue to grow? Are you looking to start playing shows once everything opens back up? Or are you going to focus more on marketing and writing music?
Okay, I think this is like a multiple layered
Of
question.
course.
So before before the vaccine, we already had it set up to where there's a single coming out every month this year, and we will have a music video attached to that single release. And at the end of the year, so December, right? We'll have our last song come out, last video come out, and then the album will come out. And then the plan is to do the same thing next year. Obviously, shows are now starting to open back up, so whenever that door opens for us, we'll start playing those shows because you need it as a musician to grow, to act, and I think it's an important experience to have. You knowing what feedback is of what you're doing. You know, the in person. I love it when the crowd like chants something that you put in. I love that. So now I put more of those in my songs. I want them to be involved. I want like the engagement, right? So we'll do that, and that might change a single. You know, like I don't know if that's going to happen. We're like, oh, we should add this. We played this live and we did this. You know, for whatever reason, maybe we fucked up or whatever the deal is, and then maybe it changes those singles because we can do that now. We can just re-record it in the studio real quick. So it's the release is going to be happening this year. The show's going to start kicking off, and I don't know. I mean, if we're growing a lot by the end of the year, maybe we'll just release a normal album next year, like every other band does, and have a couple songs come out before, and then focus on shows and whatnot. Or maybe we'll keep doing the monthly because I like the monthly stuff. It it creates such a weird thing for each song because like those hidden tracks on they're like hidden or deep tracks,
Right.
right? The tracks are really good, but were mixed into something somehow where they didn't get noticed. And even our bad songs, the songs we know are like not great, but we really want to play live. And there's two songs that are coming out on this album that we know it's not a good song, but we're gonna release it and we're gonna give it a video because we want to play this song live because we think it just hits so hard. Those kind of songs. It's like I don't know. I feel like as a musician, you write those songs. Like you're like, I can't wait to play this live. But then there's like the slow songs that when they start doing good, we're like, oh fuck, I don't want to play this live every fucking time. Like, do we have to cry every show? Like, oh, whatever the deal is, like, it's just so. I don't know what the future is next year. But I know at least this year, I know how we're going to start mixing in shows once that door opens up. I would like to get to the point where we are able to kind of branch off into more like the media stuff. Like TV shows, movies. Not necessarily like the big stuff. I mean, like I just want to be part of that culture. Like when you watch a movie and those songs, like, oh, I remember when this movie came out and this scene with that song, and like I want to be part of that in history. So I really want to focus on that next year. Like obviously ramping up this year, but like that's kind of I think the focus, my personal next focus. Because that's like kind of my thing. Like I want to be like part of things that I idolize. Like I write music that maybe I don't get from other artists. So I'm like, oh, I like this song, so I'm gonna write this song. Or I really want a song like this. And so I kind of want to create that for other people. And I feel like videos are the best way to get that emotion across. And I don't think we're very good at making videos. I mean, we're going to do it. And maybe we'll learn some stuff, but I don't think we're very good. So if we could attach ourselves to some bigger companies, I think I would love that. Or maybe independent artists that are just getting crazy with their like experimental. I want our music to be part of that. So I don't know if that's really answering your question, but I feel like that's the next step that I really want to dive into.
No, that's a really good answer. That gives an indication of what your goals are and where you're headed. So that's all I was looking for.
That's great.
Question. Do you guys have like what do you call it? Like like the royalty services where they're,
ASCAP?
yeah, stuff like that where they're pulling, copyrights and stuff, like if somebody uses your song and things.
Yes.
Okay.
See,
All right.
um, that that all started for us right out the gate. Like we had this demo before we recorded Medicated Empty, which was kind of like our first album, but really the second album. We're just embarrassed of the first one. Um, when we had a demo that we were shopping out to people, and one of the songs got on the season finale of Life, which was like an NBC show, and they used the entire song, which I thought was really cool.
That is cool.
And as soon as that happened, we were like signed up to ASCAP, and like we get notified when like Sweden or like whatever country has like a marathon of that, and I'm like, oh, cool, the marathon of this, like just kind of like fanboy out. But that all started. I mean, I had no idea how to do any of this stuff. If we didn't, someone didn't set it up for us, we wouldn't have it for sure. Because I have no idea. I log into it and I know where things are. I know how to update, but I don't know how to start anything like that.
Right.
So I think yes, I think we are. I still sign in.
Okay. Um, but like if somebody uses one of your songs in like a YouTube video or on a stream, is that, do you get a little ping that says, "Hey, this person used your song," or?
We don't like get notified when that happens, but we if there's enough of them, we'll see it. It'll be like 2 cents YouTube.
Right.
Like, whoa, YouTube's killing it today, bro. Like whatever it is. TikTok, all that stuff is attached to our releases.
Okay.
So it's like, a little like code that identifies that song. So when you do your copyrights or ASCAP stuff, when you upload it, they ask for that code. And so anytime that code is transmitted onto something that's identifiable to it. So if the software identifies that this code is attached to this account, then that's how they do it, I think.
Oh.
But, it's never like... The music industry isn't really set up for the music
No.
player. So it's never anything crazy and fun and like amazing. Unless you're a person that brings people to an arena, you're not... It's nothing that you're ever like, wow, that's really cool. I needed that.
I feel like even
That'd be maybe a thing in the future. I'd like it to where we got to the point where it's like in every household. I want to be part of every household name. Like, you get coffee, like Folgers, and then like Sprockets in every house. Whether they hate it or love it. I'm okay with the hate. Like, if you just want to hate on us, but you know who we are and you like talk about us, that like fills my heart up with joy. I really like that.
Right. As long as they know who you are, you're doing something right. So.
Yeah, I like that. It's like my ego likes that, I think. I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, you know who we are.
That's right.
I think I saw this when I was when Limp Bizkit came out. I was super young, but I remember they put out a bunch. Like everyone, Limp Bizkit was a big thing, and then there was a lot of people that just hated them.
Yeah.
Like passionately hated Limp Bizkit, and still do. But Limp Bizkit used to sell Limp Bizkit sucks gear. And I always thought they were like just random people making Limp Bizkit sucks or suck a dick Limp Bizkit or suck a Limp Bizkit, stuff like that. Like, I thought that was all just like other people that hated them that pushed this stuff. It was all put out by Limp Bizkit.
Right.
Like, I remember reading the tag once, and I'm like, oh, these fuckers. They're making money on people that hate you and people that love you. I thought that was a genius thing.
It is. It is probably like the smartest thing they could have done is like, oh, okay, well, all these people hate us. We'll make some T-shirts that say "Limp Bizkit sucks," and then we'll sell those, and they'll buy them, and we'll get
Yeah,
the money anyway. So,
it's great,
jokes on them. And it's free promotion
right?
either way, because if you didn't know who Limp Bizkit was, you'd see someone wearing their shirt that says "Limp Bizkit sucks," and you'd be like, "Limp who?" And you'd look it
Yeah,
up, and then now you're looking into Limp Bizkit, and you're buying their stuff. It doesn't matter.
that's one of those things where you see all these bands, and that's where the marketing is so big. Like you see all these bands that are huge, and you're like, well, how did this band make it? Like when I go on YouTube, sometimes it makes me not want to play music anymore. I'm not nearly as good as any of these kids. Like there's just like there's such amazing people, and they're not like big or well known or whatever. That's all like personal goals, I guess. So it really doesn't
Hmm.
objective, but like they're so amazing, and I'm just like, God damn it! Some army behind you, you'd be fucking huge. I stand no chance against that.
Well, if I'm honest, the way that I see the music industry is that I think we're headed towards the whole thing being flipped upside down. So, like, independent artists, I think, are going to get to the point where they're bigger than some of the ones with major labels and major marketing behind them, just off of the back of like social media, presence and lucky deals that they make with other creatives or other shows. And I think that's when stuff like that's going to start to happen for other types of music besides like this pop music. That's all. It's really just music
Mm-hmm.
industry fed with all this marketing money, and they pay the radio station to play it, and then they pay the TV stations to put commercials on for it, and then they make that money back when the song is so popular that TV shows and movies pay them to use it in their stuff, and then they get royalties off of that. I think
Right.
we're we're gonna see eventually that what the label does and how they're involved in that is gonna diminish a lot. And once artists are smart enough to capitalize on that, I think we're gonna see big changes in that. But I could be wrong. I just that's the way that it seems to be going, like the way I
In
see it.
theory,
Right. Or they'll come out with some weird copyright law that means you have to have a label, which means you'll have to start a label to release music. I don't know.
you know what? As much as that would kill a lot of bands, that would bring a lot of people to bigger shoes and
Mm-hmm.
like forcing people that really want to play music to do that kind of stuff. It's going to bring a lot of people that are coming with new ideas to market and campaign their new companies,
Right.
which might be what the music scene really needs.
If I mean it is because part of the issue that I have with music today is other than I think rap is probably one of the places where there's a lot of new faces. But if you look at rock, if you look at even pop music, um, it's all these people who have been there for a while now. Like there's not a whole lot of new or interesting acts or talents that are making through that threshold. And eventually
Mm-hmm.
something's going to give, and they're going to have to start pushing some of these independent or newer artists that are doing things differently. I think it's just a matter of time and how long the people at the top want to keep making money.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you because I saw this article that and I don't know who said it, but it was essentially the people that are on top of rock are kind of making it stifling other rock music to make sure that they are the people that when they think of rock they go to.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's got to be some truth to that.
Of course.
Not I mean not all the bands are obviously doing that. Like there's some people that are trying to make their genre grow, like Travis Barker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that guy's single-handedly trying to bring back pop punk in weird ways. And then you got like John Feldman, Goldfinger. He's trying to bring that whole rock genre, and then Dave Grohl just wants to bring all kinds of new people to the scene. But then there's like Metallica's and AC/DC's where they never say anything good about any other person,
Nope.
and they're just making sure that they are getting a paycheck.
Right. And it's like
So
with the amount of money that those particular acts especially have made, like you could disappear, never play another show again, never write another song, still make millions more than most people do ever in their lives, and just chill out, or you could, write music under like a fake name and don't tell people it's you, like
yeah, isn't that what Billy Joe Armstrong does?
yeah. Yeah, he's done it a few
Doesn't he
different
do that? Like,
times.
doesn't Green Day do it?
Yeah, they
Like all
Green Day
together?
did one and Billy Joe did one by himself. I can't remember the names of them now, but yeah, they
Because Billy
Foxborough
Joel,
Hot Tubs was one of them. That was Green Day. They wrote it under a different name, and they
it's like all I heard it was like all the songs that the label said no to.
yeah, pretty much.
What was that called again?
It was Foxborough Hot Tubs. I remember that now,
That's a great name.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's good.
But it's like
I know that he did a band called Long Shot. The Long
okay,
Shots, I think. I saw him play here a couple years ago, 3 years ago, and it reminded me of like Kerplunk days. Like before they were the big band Green Day.
right. That's
But
awesome.
I think he does that a lot. I think what's his name, Matt Skiba does that a lot too. Just like get stuck with all these contracts. Like they end up writing some weird album or we under someone else's name or a new band that they never promote or market.
Right, the actually creatively fulfilling music nobody ever sees,
Right.
and then the big money production album that they were forced to write and they didn't care about comes out, and everyone's like, "This sucks." Well, I mean, it's probably not all them, with the contracts they're in and all that.
I Blink 1 and 2, and like Blink's not. They have a song about fucking a dog and
Right.
grandpas, and like they have some crazy songs, and for them to be artistically like, hey, we're gonna give our fans what like real music that we really want. It's kind of crazy if you think about it, because it's like, oh, you really thought that people really wanted to hear the fuck you in the ass, grandpa? Like okay, interesting. Okay, what what is it that you think that people really want? And then the label was telling them that they needed like radio songs for taking hands off a jacket. And so I guess they went home, and then like Tom and Mark just went their own ways and spent 10 minutes. They said they will spend 10 minutes to write a song for the label. We'll put together all the most bullshit shit we can put together, and then bring it to the labels. And supposedly those songs are First Date and The Girl at the Rock Show, which are the biggest songs on that album. So if the label knows anything, they know how to sell something.
Of course.
And they don't care if it's artistically inclined. They just want you to do it. So maybe they know something. Maybe they know what people want more than we do. Just the artist inside of us wants to be the artist and not be told.
That's probably true, but I don't know. It's a weird balance thing. Like I feel like there are certain bands out there, and I'm not going to name any names, but there are certain bands out there that are bigger, and they just kind of let the label run them, and they just do whatever they're told to do, and
Yeah, it's their job.
like it works, and it's a big job, but are they really happy playing these songs that they were forced to write that they didn't like? Now they got to play them every night, 200 nights a year in some cases. Like how brutal is that? And then everywhere you go, you turn on the radio, and there's that song that you're singing on that you fucking hate, and it's your voice.
Yeah.
Like Like I feel bad for those kinds of situations. Then there are some that they get to the point where they're big enough they could shit out an album and it sells a million copies. So it's like, whatever.
I think that's the goal. For anyone who's just doing what the label wants to do, not what you want to do, the goal is to get to the point where you either do a side project and you make a ton of money because you're not attached to anything and you just shit out albums whenever you want. Maybe not shit out. Albums that you really want to write, right? And then you go to the label and you do what they want to do, and then eventually, like, the label says we need you to do this. You go, no, I'm not going to do that because this will work, or this. Because I think at some point you have a better idea of who you are as an artist and what the people. Because you're out there talking to everybody. You're out there engaging people in shows and doing interviews and hearing feedback. And the studios, I mean, there's just people that hear it. Like, oh, this sounds good, that sounds bad, before everyone else does. So, I think every artist wants to get to that point where they are so big that they can't just be like, we're putting this out. And I'm not doing some weird song with maracas and some weird cowbell things because you feel like that's the new thing. So, I think that's why people do that though. They feel like if they get through it, they can get to that. Hopefully.
That's a good point. I hope that's it. And I hope it's not them just being like, what? I don't care about music. We're just going to play what they tell us to do because it's cool and I get to play it. I get to play music for a living, so screw them. But
I feel like you can't be that person. Because you're right. I mean, maybe that's why bands break up, though. Like they finally got to their dream job, and it's nothing that they thought. And we recorded this song, we hate it, people like it, and we're playing it every goddamn night. Maybe that's why there's like, dude, fuck. Well, this is shitty.
I mean, especially if you're playing the songs that you don't like, and then you're on the road a lot, so you don't see your family. Like that's a tough job. I don't even know if I made it in music if I could be that big of an act. Like I might have to be one of those smaller bands that like tours for 3 months every year and then sits at home and writes for the other 9 months because I would go crazy not being home.
Yeah, I mean I'm the same way. I like being home, but that's why you gotta find revenue in other places, like whether it's media, TV shows, movies, or doing having other bands. You can get to the point where you have other bands playing your stuff and paying you so they can release it. That's the dream. Like I don't have to play this song anymore. Like Kiss has a band that goes out and it's a bunch of people dressed as Kiss. And they're paid by Kiss to go out and do it. And they're just making money for Kiss. And I think that's a genius move. Like, why can't I do that? Why can't I have people, why just pay people to be me? You go out and play these songs.
Yeah, you go do it. I don't want to tour anymore, but
I'm done. I'll write the next song for you to play. Go ahead.
Right. But when it comes to, I don't know, I think the smartest band in music right now when it comes to like diversifying your income has to be Periphery. Like I don't know if you follow that.
Who?
Periphery, the metal band.
I don't know who that is.
So they I guess you would consider them gent. They like real heavy stuff. But like,
I don't even know what gent is.
Right.
Just don't talk about. I have no idea what's going on anymore.
I don't know, but like, so they don't just make money from touring. Like they they were on a label for a couple albums. They finished their deal up, and they just are now self-releasing everything. They sell like guitar pedals, and they have a company that writes like software for like music programs and stuff like that. Like they wrote their music to be technical and really appeal to like, guys that are at home playing music at
Mm-hmm.
home. And then they started selling your products to those people that they knew were going to like their technical metal stuff. Like, I think it's genius what they've done.
That is genius.
Their bass player doesn't even go on tour with them anymore. He just stays because he's from Britain, so he stays at home and he works on all these like other revenue streams that make all the guys money. You know what I mean? Like,
That's amazing.
yeah, and
I think I might have heard of this band because I remember someone telling me, check out the software that some bass player does.
mm-hmm.
And it's probably them. I mean, I don't know how many bands have that.
Yeah, no, I think it's just them as far as bands go. Yeah, I use the drum software that he made when I write my own stuff. So it's like, but
Yeah,
how
see,
genius is that? Like,
that
you
is
got people
good.
paying you to make
Yes.
records, and you don't have anything to do with it.
There's so many ways to make money nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, right? Like you can make apps, you can make this new software, you could, and you just like them, they probably just use their stuff as a catalog.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look what we did with this software, and then they sell it. But it's figuring out what works to make money on that stuff is the hard stuff.
Yes.
Because you can put out a million things and then no one gives a shit. Like I think of like at least 100 ideas a day, and I guarantee 99.9 of them are horrible. But I'm like, oh, somebody might be able to make money on that. I'm like, no, I should just stop thinking for a little while. Just like go into a comatose.
So,
But it's interesting when you see bands that make it like that. They're still happy.
right.
They're writing what they want. They're making money. They're on their own time. They own their own business. And once you start getting to that level of success, new doors open up for you all the time. But you got to get to that point where those doors open up for you. In the beginning, it's hard because no one knows who you are, what you're doing, what you're trying to do, and you're just trying to get your message out to maybe get some of those doors
Mm-hmm.
or a window, or maybe in my case, like a little crack, just like a little like what we need, just a little sliver.
And it's really hard when you're at that like just starting level to start to grow. Like, you'll get like 3 people at a time, 4 people at a time. Like, you could be at it for years if you don't know which doors to knock on to get the right
Right.
opportunity to build. And I don't know. It's one of those things. Like, when you guys first started playing, how long did it take you before you were able to get people to ask you to play shows instead of you having to ask to be on a show?
It just depends on the season. I
Right.
feel like. Um, I remember there was a high school that wanted us to do a dance, and this was a long time ago, right? This is probably 2006,
Right.
2006, 2007. And I remember like thinking, so we can't swear. And, like half of our songs had like fuck or shit and it's just like, so we can't swear, and we had like inappropriate songs. Like I had a song that was about uh, making sweet sweet love under a Christmas tree and sitting on Santa's lap. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like finally somebody wants us to play, and then it's this, and then it's like it was like I don't think it fell through. I remember we didn't play it. But I was like so cool. I thought it was so cool that someone was asking us to play, and they were like going to pay us money, and like the whole deal. but I just thought it was like, what? This could be a nightmare. That's the only one that really comes to mind when in the beginning. I also remember playing in a Mormon parking lot, and I did yellow hair, and there was a bunch of kids. It's like a bunch of kids in the Mormon parking lot, and somehow they got into the Mormons. So we have a video, VHS of it somewhere. I guarantee we have a VHS of it somewhere. And there's I put I put fireworks, little fizzles, like fountains,
Yeah.
for our grand finale song, and I had yellow hair, and there was people moshing in like the silhouette of the church, and I remember we had a song that was doing really well, and we played it, and then people started like talking about it from that show because they're like, "Oh, this band played in the Mormon parking lot." It was the weirdest thing. They were swearing and they were mosh pitting inside the church, and there was just a lot of things happening, you know. And so after that, we started getting asked to do a lot of shows, and I don't remember what year that was, but I remember we were very naive, and we said yes to everything. That's so yeah. Like I guess it was a cool turning point, but you get like it's kind of scary when you start getting asked because the level of expectation is growing.
Right.
That's a hard one to kind of overcome. And I think that continues even today. Like if a big band asks us to open up for them, it's like, oh shit, we can't fuck that one up today.
Right.
We gotta be good at this one. Can't drink too much of this one. You know, like bad habits, or you try to shake bad habits real quick for those ones. I don't know. I don't. I mean, I feel like once you get like a booking agent, they're asking you don't. I don't know. I don't really know if that's a thing anymore. Is that do you really get asked anymore when you're an opening band? Like
I don't think so. I
I guess I'm speaking because the last year no one's asked for anything, so I just feel like it doesn't happen anymore.
well, it's hard to tell because we don't know what it's going to be like when this does start back up. But I feel like even before, a lot of times it was either they had an opener in mind, or like the venue would have an opener that they would have in mind, or if there wasn't one, it would always be like, all right, well, we'll make it a contest, and people can vote online, and whoever's got the best song opens the show. But like you're probably not getting paid, or if you are, it's like $50 or whatever, or gas money, basically.
Yeah, gas money, drink money. Usually it's drink money.
Free beer.
Yeah.
Once you get to the venue.
You get that deal.
Yeah.
You're making money, buddy.
Well, I don't want to take up your whole day, but this has been a great show. I'd be glad to have you and the rest of the band back on. I'm sorry I didn't expect technology to fight with us today, but
No, it's okay.
we'll schedule another time to follow up because we barely touched anything Sprockets related because I let us get off on tangents. But we could always go back and talk about the actual material another time. But did you have any final thoughts? Anything you wanted to talk about in regards to the band, or you want to drop your link, shout out your links and all that? And
I guess we should do that.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at marketing. We should do that. Okay, so all social media is at the Sprockets. TheSprockets. And Spotify and Apple Music is, we want to be on those playlists. So, we like to tag them. People tag us in those playlists. We share it. And we add it to our personal, so we listen to it. That's actually how I found a lot of the good bands. It's actually how I found Promise Game.
Mm-hmm.
It's because someone had us on a list, and it had Promise Game, and I put Shuffle on it one day, and they came up, and I was like, oh, this is good. And I started noticing the band more, and then I noticed that it's just Colin all the time.
Yeah.
And that was that.
All right. Well,
Yeah, you can check us out on there. We're trying to be more active on that stuff. You know, it's hard for us because we just don't get it. Like, when you want me to talk about like my 5 seconds, like, oh, I went to the store today, and this guy said, like, I don't know, I just can't do that. So it's hard for me to give content. But we update when we have music videos and songs out.
that's probably enough. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I hope so.
You know, stand by the music. Maybe do little teaser videos when you got a new song coming out in a couple of days. Just, you know, hey, here's 30 seconds of it. Check it out. Comes out on Friday.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, we do have a song coming out. Tuesday. Wait,
Tuesday.
The 23rd.
Awesome.
No, it's Friday.
Oh.
So Friday we have a new video coming out for Matchbook Strike. And it is a fun, colorful, energetic time.
So, actually, I do want to ask, because you talked about videos. I noticed you guys do have videos to go along with a lot of your songs. Do you guys shoot those yourselves? Do you have a local videographer that you go to, or
Yeah, we do it all from this.
right on the phones, huh?
Right on the phone, the viewer. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in between.
Right.
But that's kind of what happens. Actually, I'm writing the script for the next one. And then we record it on this. And then I edit it. And it's super fun.
So that's
It's a time killer for me.
yeah, that's a real DIY approach, but I like it.
Yes, we are all about doing it yourself. Speaking of doing it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
MXPX. I don't know if you follow them or know who they are.
I've
They're
heard
a
of
pop
them.
punk band that started they're like AP magazine or AP Press or Alternative Press.
Mm-hmm.
Put them as like number 5 and like the leaders of pop punk. You know, like Blank and Offspring, Green Day, and MXPX were in that. They're all about like doing it yourself, making it work. They had opportunities to be as big of a band, as Green Day and Blink, but they didn't want to just be tied down by labels telling them what to do all the time. So they always were on the smaller labels, the more indie labels, and the lead singer does a lot of stuff. Like he's also in like Goldfinger, so they find like other ways to make it work.
Right.
And I've always watched Mike and been inspired by his ways of doing things. And there is no excuse for not doing something. We recorded with him in his studio because he built a studio because he was sick of paying people to make his music. So he doesn't know. He wakes up every morning and does it. And so he's a lot. It's the marketing and business side. I watch him closely, and he did such an amazing job with this pandemic stuff. Not being able to tour, not being able to do anything. It's amazing. Like, he does these like shows you buy tickets for, like live streams, and they're killing it. Like there's so many ways. Like, you be creative enough. There's ways to like do this for life, for like living. You just got to figure out those ways, And he's a great example of it. And if you haven't heard of MXPX, I would check them out because they are amazing.
I've
And
heard
they do
of
everything
them,
themselves.
but I can't tell you if I've actually sat down and listened to them. But I definitely will after this.
Yeah, they're great. Like, and if you just watch like how he functions as a businessman, or it's just amazing, like what he's able to do. Like most bands that say no to the big labels gets eaten up and spit out, and he's been doing it for like 25, 30 years now. I don't know, long time. So I try to like mimic him in the sense where if we don't, okay, people can't be around us, so how do we promote our music? Well, let's do a music video ourselves. We don't want to pay for studio time and waste money, so let's buy our own studio.
Right.
I do all the graphics for our covers. Like, it's just, if you want to do it, we try to get as creative as possible to do it. And I love that whole do-it-yourself mentality. Like you with the podcast, you just, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I wanted to be in a band right now, but I can't because I'm not in a band. So it's going to take a little while to get like back into that. So I'm going to do this instead. Like, that's amazing. That's keeping you like creatively on your toes. That's a cool thing, man.
Well, thank you for that. And actually, I do still write music and put it out. I put a song out. It's called Adulting Sucks. So if you get 5 minutes, go ahead and check that out. But it just came out on Friday. So like I write and record everything myself. So I've been trying to do that.
But we'll be able to play shows.
Right, because it's just me. I don't have a way really to play shows unless I want to spend, and I might. I could spend 8 hours programming in backing tracks and a whole like video rig to show like different cuts of me playing all the instruments behind me. But
yeah, that's amazing.
I've thought about doing that, but that would take a lot more technological knowledge than I have currently. So it'll be either that or I'll wait until I can get together with some friends and start rehearsing.
I say while you're waiting, you dive into that, figure it out, because if you figure that out, you can do live streams, and then it'd be really appealing because there's all this video footage behind you. And you can do live performances at the same time, so you'd be entertaining two crowds.
That's a good point.
I like it.
That's a good point. I'll have to look into that.
And when you're mad at the other player in your band, you can have a hard heart with them and really understand it and figure out the problem instead of just quitting and then having to start over again.
All right, fair enough.
As much as every band doesn't want to hear this, there's always got to be one person that just says yes, like, this is what we're doing today. This is what we got to do. You know, the sayer,
like the
leader, I guess. And there has to be the one person in the band that sides for the right reasons with whoever it is. And there's got to be the angry one that we all know. Okay, so it keeps everyone in check. Because we don't want to piss off that guy because he's angry, and everyone's got to have a stoner. That's the perfect combo. You have the stoner who's just like, yeah, man, I just want to do it, bro. And then you have the guy that's always, he has a good point. And then the angry one that makes sure that no one really raises voices with anybody because it's like, oh, blow up. You can't talk like that to people. So you need the Ninja Turtle. You need the Ninja Turtle setup.
Yeah.
You need the tech guy, you need the leader, you need the angry guy, you need the party guy.
All right. So every band needs to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Got it.
Yeah, and then and Splinter would be the label. So be careful on who you pick. You either pick Shredder or Splinter.
Right.
So that's my knowledge drop for the day.
It's a good analogy.
Hey, kids.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap up the podcast, but everybody go check out Sprockets on Spotify and Apple Music. Follow them on Facebook. They're doing a lot of cool stuff. Check out their YouTube to go back and watch all their do-it-yourself and otherwise produced music videos. Definitely gonna try to get back together with you and do the whole band next time. Maybe try for in a couple months, maybe when you have a little bit more to talk about with new stuff coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Hopefully, the world will open up
I'm hoping so. But in
as
the
it
meantime,
shows, and we can talk about it.
if you're listening to the replay, thank you so much for checking us out on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're live, thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time.